all the previous electrodes, considered electrodes, were for external recording. And in this slide, we will discuss about some internal electrodes. Internal electrodes for recording inside the body, under the skin. These electrodes do not need electrolyte gel, and also no electrolyte skin interface will be generated or created in this type of electrodes. As you can see here, we have 4 types, A, B, C, and also D, needle electrodes. The first one, A, insulated needle electrode. Only the tip of this electrode is conductive, and other parts of the electrodes of these electrodes are coated by some insulation, for example, Teflon material. The second type is coaxial needle electrode. As you can see, we have an outer conductive layer here, hypodermic needle, and the center of this electrode is also conductive, and we have an isolated layer between the outer metal part and inner recording part. The main recording part of this electrode is here. The outer conductive layer is used as reference. These coaxial needle electrodes have their own reference. Okay, the third one is bipolar coaxial electrodes. We have an outer conductive layer, conductive metal layer here, but at the tip we have 2 electrodes and some isolation between them, and these types of electrodes are used for recording difference signals, and also they have their own references. Unipolar, also unipolar or monopolar, and this type is bipolar electrode. The fourth electrode is fine wire. Fine wire electrode inserted to the skin using a hypodermic guide needle. We put the tip of this fine wire inside the hole of the needle, and we insert the needle inside the tissue, and therefore we will pulling out the needle, and after that we can use the fine wire like this to record signal. But we have a fine wire, and unfortunately the wire is fragile because we have some different layers: skin, fat, and muscle, and the contraction of these tissues are different. Therefore, the wire may be broke from, for example, these borders. For overcome this problem, we use coiled fine wire, and this type of fine wires are robust to some strain and also some unwanted contraction, especially at the borders. This coil shape will help to not be broken. And also these electrodes is commonly used for EMG recording. The next internal electrode or category of internal electrodes is electrode for recording signals from the fetal scalp. As you can see, we have two types of electrode here. The first one, suction electrode. We have a spoon-shaped electrode, and we connect this electrode to the skin of the body of the fetal, especially the scalp of the fetal, and the suction will help to insertion of the needle inside the body. And also we have a reference electrode outside on the other side of the electrode, and also a helical electrode here, which is attached to fetal skin by corkscrew type action. These are not common electrodes, commonly used electrodes. Based on the order of doctors, they may use these types of electrodes to record directly the signals from the body of the fetal's scalp. And other types of the internal electrodes are implantable electrodes. Various types of these electrodes are available. For example, wire loop electrode, for example, nerve or recorded region will be placed inside this loop, or silver sphere, age sphere, can use to record from the cortex, and also multi-element depth electrode. Some fine wires are placed in this structure using some varnish binder, and these types of implantable internal electrode can be used to record from various depth inside, for example, brain or a tissue. And other types of the internal electrodes is electrode arrays. And we have electrode arrays in some various dimensions. The first one is one-dimensional Planck electrode array. The length, the width, and the thickness of this electrode should be considered. The thickness is very low, and also the length is small. We can fabricate such an arrays electrode in two-dimensional electrode, in two-dimensional array, and also we can fabricate it in AgCl structure. These types of electrodes can be used for recording from, for example, some specific surfaces on brain. And also we can made some electrode, depth electrode, like this, to record from the depth of the tissue, but these electrodes are two-dimensional array electrode, and using this type on each beam of this electrode will provide a three-dimensional array electrode. Look at the size here, 2 millimeters. So small.